We had a real oral tradition in our house. I knew the word griot when I was a little boy. A griot was a person in Africa who was charged with keeping the stories of the village. Everyone would tell a griot the stories, and they would remember them all so that they could tell future generations. And when they got old, they'd tell them to someone else. And they say in Africa, when a griot dies, it's like a library was burnt, man.
The griots were these brilliant African storytellers who learned for generations, the father, the son, the mother, daughter, and so forth, the stories of their people, their kings, their lands, etc., and so forth. In order to instruct others, they would have these huge sessions where they would sit around and pass these stories down and instruct people and so forth.
And the griot is the man who sits down there, who knows the history, who knows every single story that is important, relevant for that kingdom.
What's up, everybody? My name is Griot. I'd like to welcome you to my show on Shifted Vision Media. I'm very thankful that they brought me on. So, first thing I want to get off my chest, the reason why I picked this name. I was watching the Dave Chappelle special on Netflix, and first off, shout out to Dave Chappelle and everything he's done. The way that man thinks outside the box is amazing. I don't know anyone else on God Green Earth that thinks like that, and that's what my motivation kind of comes from doing all of this. He spreads good. He spreads a good message through jokes, and I want to spread a good message through my media. So, welcome to my platform. But griot is actually a term. It's an African word that means an elder, like in a tribe or village, that has wisdom and knowledge, and he spreads it to everyone else, and he's a good storyteller. So this isn't the only platform that I'm gonna have. I'm gonna be doing this. I'm also be doing my music on the side, and you can actually catch me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, Griot or El Griot 88. You can follow me on IG as well. So my message for everybody today, I actually found a word, you know what I'm saying, that I want to expand upon, and that's expectations. The strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. If we don't have expectations, there's no way that we can excel in life. The reason why I picked that word is because for myself, my expectations, I put at a certain height, and I'm trying to do everything I can to reach that. But I have friends and I have people that I talk to, and when I talk to them about everything, it's like there's a negative energy around them, and they don't know how to shake that off. Your morals, your values, and your ethics is your compass. That's, you know what I'm saying, you got to use that to point you in the right direction. So that's just something I want to kind of touch base on. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, you should have an idiom in the back of your pocket. So if you're trying to do something positive, at the end of the day, you might fail, but you need to see what happens out of everything you're doing. So if you're not putting that foot forward, you can't reach that next level, period. The first thing you need to do is try and put forth maximum effort. If you don't put forth any effort, you can't expect anything out of that. It's a give and take relationship. That's how life works. That's how the universe works. Half the energy that you put into something, or half the energy that you have, when you go and you do whatever it is that you're doing, you got karma working. You have, it's almost like a science. So if you're not putting forth that maximum effort, there's no way that you can make it past that roadblock. You're gonna keep bumping your head. I seen a video on Facebook that kind of disturbed me. It was a young lady. I don't know where she's from, but she's pretty much asking why. She was asking God on camera, and it was funny to me. She was like, "Why God? Why me? Why is it that I want? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to chase the bag. I want the bag to chase me." You never just gonna get what you want. If you're not putting forth that effort, there's no way that you're going to take that final step or that next step. It's very few people in the world that are just standing on the corner and somebody sees them and says, "I see your potential," and then they use you. You have to find what it is in your life that gives you that niche, where that talent, where you could use that, you can cultivate that, and you can make that what you want it to be. I used to get very upset at people that sing. My mom told me at an early age, baby, you were not born with that gift. And to this day, I will sing my heart out, and I still can't get where I want to go when it comes to singing. I'm tone deaf. I can't hear myself, and I can come up with a nice hook, but it's not gonna sound good if I sing it. But then you know what I'm saying, I used to go to the bowling alley with my older brother, or I used, the skating ring. And back in the day when I was like in elementary school, you see people sitting outside the skating ring, and you see a group of like 3-4 dudes, and they be harmonizing. There'd be a group of girls around them, and it's like they minds was going, like they was just into it. So if you can sing, or you got a talent that can attract energy from other people, you need to harness that. There's a lot of people I know that can sing, and they're afraid to sing in front of people. And if you know them, like kind of like on an intimate level or just a deep friendship level, they'll do that. You know what I'm saying, in front of you. But you know what I'm saying, I got a friend I talk to, and I tell her all the time, you need to go to a studio and record. You need to write. In this day and age, you got people that can write for you, but your voice is beautiful. She afraid to do it, and I've never understood that. So that's just where I'm coming from as far as, you know what I'm saying, using your talents for yourself. I usually have high expectations for myself when I start something, but throughout the years I learned that self-reflection is because I'm afraid of failing. So when you set a goal or you set a bar for yourself, and then you try and reach that goal, the first couple times that you do that, when you don't reach that level that you expected to, it could be like crushing to your heart, so you stop. But I learned that if I fail, that's okay, because I learned a lesson from failing. So I got to try and do it again. I don't make it the second time. Do it again, third time. Every time you fail, you can pick up something to change course, and then use that to make it to your end result and end goal. So I've noticed a trend around a lot of the younger generation. They'll do something, fail at it, quit, and then they'll try and go do something else and do the same thing over and over and over. And then at some point they get to a point where it's like, I'm depressed, or I feel suicidal, or, you know what I'm saying, I have mental issues. It's not that you're depressed, feel suicidal, or have mental issues. Some people do have those issues. Everybody doesn't have those issues. The issue is that you have not learned that you are not going to get everything in life that you want. If you don't work towards something, actually put forth 100% maximum work ethic, you won't get what you want. You won't even put your foot through the door. People going to tell you no 100 times, and that's okay, because at 101, there might be somebody there to tell you yes. It's okay to fail if you at least put forth 100% of effort. Life is about learning, so if you don't make mistakes or poor decisions, sometimes you'll never be able to see that blessing. When I was in Quantico, Virginia, I'm in the military, by the way, I didn't state that earlier, but when I was in Quantico, Virginia, I had just got back from Japan. And, you know, living overseas is a little bit different. You can walk around out in the States with beer cans and everything that you're doing. And because I lived over there and I wasn't a E5 yet, I lived on base and I took public transportation. But when I moved back to the States, I didn't have a car. You know what I'm saying? I had moved away for 3 years, and coming back was a culture shock. So I didn't have a car. I was used to drinking out in public. And even though the people told you all the time, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't drink and drive, that wasn't what my mind was on when I got back to the States. So I made it, you know what I'm saying, I made a mistake. The reason why I'm happy I made the mistake, though, even though I'm not where I could have been, is because if that wouldn't have happened, if I wouldn't have lost my money, if I wouldn't have lost my housing or got punished, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now because I'll still be making the same mistakes I used to make. Sometimes you have to go through bad situations to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if you don't, you're not going to learn any lessons. People get upset that life is hard. Life is hard to a certain point where it can be bearable. But because it's bearable, you have a reason to go outside and laugh and smile. I've been places in the world where you not go, like, if you were there, you would understand that most Americans are spoiled. And I'm not saying that to be negative in any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? I love living in America, but I've been to Malaysia, I've been to New Caledonia, I've been to Palau, I've been to Russia, I've been to Hong Kong, I've been all over Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been a lot of places and I've seen a lot. So even though I'm young, I still have a lot of experience that a lot of other people didn't have. And that was me having experience at 25 years old. Growing up the way I did before I came into the military and then putting military experience on top of it, I've seen a lot. Like, if I die today, I can actually say I live life. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I meet people older than me and, you know, they live life, but when they try and give me advice, it's like I'm hearing the same thing over and over. But I'm glad that I'm hearing it because that means that they care. If somebody doesn't talk to you and tell you what they've been through, or, you know what I'm saying, trying to express that they care, what's the point of even having them around? It's okay to have mentors, and I know people get frustrated hearing the same thing over and over. But them people that's telling you the same thing over and over, they telling you that because they care. So, if anybody doesn't understand what the process of a diamond, or a process that a diamond goes through, a diamond starts off as a molecule of carbon, right? And then high temperatures and heat over a period of time breaks that down into a diamond. Think of each other, or think of yourself as a molecule of carbon. And I don't care where you are today, you always, you know what I'm saying, you can learn a lesson every day. So tomorrow you can get further. Over that period of time, that heat, that temperature, and that's equivalent to all the bad things that you've been through in life and everything that you're going through, right? And sometimes you get weary and it wears you down. But you got to understand that this is a process. God has a plan for you. What it end up doing is it'll create you and mold you into a diamond. Every diamond doesn't shine the same. So you got to understand where you are in life. Stop looking at other people and where they are and focusing on where they are, because then you can't focus on yourself and your betterment. Ego and envy is a killer. You keep worrying about everybody else, you're going to forget to take those little steps that you need to get from A, B, C, D to Z. Z is your endpoint. If you're just trying to skip A and jump to Z, you miss all them little steps. That's all the experience that you needed to get where you are, to prepare yourself for getting what you feel like you deserve. Sometimes you need to stop, think, self-reflect, look in the mirror, and figure out what it is that you need, what it is that you want. Write that down. Put that on paper. You can wake up in the morning and be like, I want $1 million. Okay, cool. You want $1 million. How you going to get there? I don't know. I'm going to just go out and do something. That don't make no sense. How much money you saving? What's the next job you trying to get to? What's your resume look like? What's your schooling look like? What is it that you need to do to make that $1 million? You got to come up with a plan. People are not going to plan it out for you. It's just the facts of life. Most people don't care about other people. Which leads me into my next topic. When I was younger, I used to hoop a lot, right? So I was at a basketball court, and where I lived at was about 3 miles away from where I hooped at. So I met this old head, right? He was playing with us. He's like, hey, man, you want to ride home? I was like, yeah, man, I appreciate it. So on the way home, you know, I'm saying thank you. And he's like, don't even say thank you. What I want you to do is I want you to pay it back, pay it forward. When someone does something good for you and they don't want nothing in return, that's someone trying to show you that that's how you should treat other people. When you see somebody doing bad and they down and out, I see a lot of times in media nowadays, you see it on Facebook, you see it on Twitter, Instagram. People will do a good deed and then they'll have a camera in front of their face. Why? So what you did was you did a good deed but wanted validation. Did you do it for yourself or did you do it for them? When you see somebody that needs something and they need help and they can't help themselves, it's okay to help them and not want validation back. If people did a good deed for somebody else every day and they had the morals and ethics to do better, to help everyone else and bring them along, the expectations of the world and the mindset would be a lot different. We can't ask for leadership and great expectation and expect great things from them when we down here doing the exact same or the exact difference. But on the flip side, you can't be a leader and expect people to vote for you, to support you, to go to polls. We're living in a time period now where, and I'm saying this as an individual, I'm not saying this for nobody else. I'm not saying this for an agenda or politics, but everybody sees what's going on in our country right now. I have nothing negative to say about anybody, but I am afraid for our future. My people, I know that y'all feel a certain type of way about Biden and Kamala. All I ask is, if we gave one person a try, why is it that we are not willing to give somebody else a try? Voting is important. People have died, been hung, shot, killed. They have had body parts cut off, stuck down their throats, whipped, and y'all saying that y'all not gonna go vote. And it's crazy because I got friends with that mentality. Use your voice to do something, because if you don't, and we turn around and we get the same thing on top of way more that could come, we're gonna be in a world of hurt. And from my understanding, none of y'all moving out the country. Y'all living here, right? Use your voice. I'm Griot. Please subscribe, like, share, and follow. And I'll see y'all again. Peace.